many things at workplace. Things don't happen that you want it. People don't respond, they want them. The deals not necessarily coming through toward the end of the quarters. This goes on, that list goes on. Always it is there. Yet, many of those events, the ability to handle them. Of course, some big events happen. The ability to handle these events, those experiences is required. If 99% we have so many small events that are happening around, and then for everything we're going to worry about or stress ourselves about, then that happiness is taken away from us. Having a sound mind is essential. Being able to disengage from the past is essential. Being able to look into our fears is essential. Mental wellness, or having a sound mind. I would like to use the word sound mind. When I came into meditation, that mind is not that sound. All wrong views. Wrong views lead to, a poorly thinking mind, which causes all experience to become very poor. Wrong views, they must do like this. Wrong view. How come they don't even come back and then tell me what this is? I am this, so they must come and tell. Yeah, it's natural. You are supposed to do it. How come expectations? There is stress. Stress leads to anxiety. Anxiety leads to a period of time to depression. Depression over a period of time can lead to addictions or vice versa. Anxieties lead to addictions. Addictions lead to, of course, depressions. And then there are these larger events that happen, some accidents, some maybe COVID kind of illnesses. So then trauma is created. So then you have many post-traumatic stress disorders, PTSDs, fear-based challenges, many of them, because then you have once experienced it, then afterwards that experience is so bad that it's difficult to even think of experiencing again anything like this. So that fear causes us to be in it. When I came into meditation in the beginning, my mind was not that strong too, of wrong views. Not that I had any health challenge, but wrong views. The wrong views lead towards a lot of poor thinking in the mind, putting a lot of stress. It's either fear, it's either lack of control. It's our greed. Many of these. Many people who are in the service industry, there's lack of control in their life. Their life is not in their hand. Somebody else is driving. I have to give my time because public and everybody expects that I need to be available on call 24/7. I need to be there when people call me. And so then completely burn themselves out. They recognize that there's no control in their life because they let it happen. No control in their life, their time. And so lack of control leads to a tremendous amount of stress, leads towards addictions. Addictions lead to depressions. Addictions to substances is happening because a lot of times lack of control. I have anger issues. And then so the anger issues, many times I I just vented out my anger. I'm not able to control it. So then that caused a great deal of harm in the past, either the business or a relationship. And so then I would go into depression. Psychological, emotional, social, mental wellness comprise of all three. Emotionally, we are not necessarily at our best. And so then that causes weaker mind, thinking. Psychologically, we don't have right understanding and views. And then, of course, socially, we always are looking at and saying, what are others thinking? The pressure of not being able to engage with people, the pressure of trying to manage to their expectations, or living to their expectations. Meditation comes to a great rescue. I was not very strong-minded from that perspective. I was strong-minded towards my careers, but then again, there's all wrong views that I have to manage. People have to do the way I do. The drop of a hat, being able to judge and say, okay, this person is more biased, and that's why they're doing it without being any empathetic about other person or without being empathetic about their situations. Always it's in my point of view, now considering others' point. That puts a lot of pressure and making wrong assumptions. Making assumptions is one of the biggest barrier to our happiness, because the mind goes on projecting that. We make assumptions for everything. Somebody says, who cooked food today, or who cooked today? And then immediately the mind makes assumption, oh, it's not good, is it? Is that why you're asking me? Assumption. The boss just asks, about to go out of the meeting room and says, hey, who worked on that challenge last time with that problem? And then he walks out because he has suddenly had to go to another meeting. Then this person who made this thing keeps going around. Oh my God, now what happened? What came? He may be asking for a good thing. To have use that person in the another thing that he's seeing, something is coming up. But then here the mind goes a negative thought and saying, what wrong did I do? I am the one who did this work last time. Assumption. So these assumptions that the stat is that 90% of our happiness is just in our control, in the way we think and feel about ourselves, about the environment, the right views. 90% of our happiness in our control. Mind has to become strong. With the right use, to reduce fears, to drop all unwanted stuff from the past, disengage from it. 90% of our happiness is in ourselves by doing those. 8-9% is only with environment around who are authoritatively pushing us to do things. Violence, killing, interference is caused by others, where we have to oblige to it based on what we are, causes that suffering. 90% is a basic called adithap within us. 9% adi bhautikata. Physically, because we are there in a physical system, there is danger, there is the suffering through environment. You know, a mom telling a child, you cannot go anywhere, just you be grounded, stay here. Okay, I'll stay here because you are telling the authority, God, to stay here. They don't like, they want to do it, but then 9% like that, 1% is natural calamities. The point, 1% is natural calamities, the suffering that we get. 90% is in our mind. And meditation helps us to overcome all of that. Many reasons and many ways why. Awareness is beautifully built to us. So when awareness is built, then we have a great control on our emotions, the way we express them. We develop so much awareness in the moment. So what thought, what feeling, what reaction, what am I thinking at this point? So a lot of emotional intelligence so that we are able to now take a better change in response. We cover that in week 4. But awareness is important to check on our thought, which is again going back and the spiraling downward, thinking about an event or a person, and about a life or a health condition. It shows up and says, my God, so this is happening. It's not going to stop now. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. We think that way, and then the body condition also gets worse and worse. So there's awareness that is built through meditation. Number 2, what I've discovered is that there is a fear center. There's a fear center in our limbic brain, in the subconscious. The seat of subconscious mind has got 2 aspects: a fear emotion center. There is an emotional center where our feelings and emotions are experienced through hormones that get produced from that center there. And then, of course, the long-term memory that is there, seating our belief system, the belief system of wrong views that I'm talking, they're all there. So meditation is known to increase the long-term memory area and then decrease the emotion center. Isn't that there is an area called amygdala? The amygdala is the emotion center, and that there is an area for fears. And so that area is seen to be noticed as per research, shrinking. The fear center within the emotional center called amygdala shrinks. Whereas the long-term memory and then many conscious mind activities of abilities, they all, wait a minute, why is this green thing coming? Yes. So the long-term memory areas increase, called hippocampus is increasing, whereas the amygdala, the fear part of the center of the amygdala is shrinking. Noticed in research. Sarah Leger did one of the studies that are done in 2005 and subsequently many studies. This is quoted quite well. So the fears are reduced automatically if the brain area that is producing fear chemicals are reduced, and so then there is also shrinking. So there is a fear is reduced automatically. And the third thing is that we talked about earlier this week, the stress is reduced. And so there is many things that the body is not getting restless. The body weakens. And so the body weakens, the mind weakens. And one part of the stress is to not have the decision-making, proper decision-making, because there is not adequate energy in the brain. And so then there's less poor decision-making capability, poor thinking. So stress is reduced with meditation because it is engaging from the past. The chemicals are removed from the brain. Body functions in a great homeostasis. Chemicals are removed from the bloodstreams. So the restlessness drops, and then we are functioning greater health. So the greater well-being, physical health is important. The last thing is this one, what we see here on this side here. It enables a lot of feel-good hormones. These chemicals are produced by default. A car that we drive and then it needs to be taken care with, gas has to be there. The gas tank has to be filled with have adequate fuel. So these are fuels for us to experience life joyfully. They drive a lot of emotional responses. Endorphins are pain relief chemicals. So then our body, our ability to tolerate pain increases through regular meditation. And then taking painkillers, they work as pain relief. So we're going to experiment with all of this. But then endorphins are there. So in general, well-being, you feel the well-being. You learn to manage with the situation conditions. The mood-swinging chemicals called serotonin, something that we get through breathing and running and yoga, is also happening in meditation quite a bit. And so we switch into where we have to go and then go out for a long walk. And when you have a problem, when you are really, really stressed out, or somebody said no, spoiled a mood, then switch into it, we go into nature walk, right? And so then instead, we just meditate, it switches our moods. That chemical is essential in the brain, and then so automatically it helps to switch into newer, the better moods. Love chemical is to oxytocin, helps us to bond with others. What happens when you have a good relationship or you're hugging somebody and you're helping people? It's all, you're developing the bond. And so this thing naturally comes with meditation. You don't have to do those physical things, but it comes because in meditation, every day we are connecting with in the energy field. What we do physically, connecting with others through relationship activity or to helping, exercise, to hugging and all of those activities are happen in energy fields. It's all it is. It's you're connecting with others in the field of energy rather than in the field of physicality. That's what is happening in the energy body, but in the physical body, from biologically speaking, these chemicals are produced when a mind is going into the empty states, known to be producing this. Or in other words, when you have this greater connected experience out there, translating to a physical process of producing this chemical, leading towards expressing a right body emotion, love emotion, feeling good about others, no matter what necessarily happening, not having that enmity, that hatredness, some of those will start disappearing. Because that puts a lot of pressure, that puts a lot of agony, and then our mind goes into the spiral, downward spirals. And reward chemical, this is the important aspect. We constantly need encouragement for ourselves. Encouragement for ourselves to feel good about we moving forward in life. I said many, many small things, some appreciation, some gratitude that required we have to for us to feel like, yes, I'm worthy of continuing my life in many ways when that happens. And this is, you have a best friend in this. This chemical is what is supposed to be doing that, dopamine chemical, reward chemical. It gets produced when you get a little bit of award, a little bit of appreciation. When you feel, oh, out of the 20 tasks, I've done 5 tasks today, I feel good. That chemical is produced automatically based on the meaning you give for your life that day. Everything is based on the meaning we give to ourselves. And so then the reward chemical is produced, say that, wow, this is good, patting ourselves. It produces that to feel good. So with meditation, these things are known to be produced quite well. So when these are there, automatically, people who are having addictions, why do you do addictions? Why do you get addicted? Because we need to escape from things that are happening around, some kind of a stressful situation. We want to escape from it. Because when you take substance addiction, then you're temporarily disengaging from the environment, the present. An escape mechanism. Now, meditation helps to give the same. At least you're disengaged from the environment, so then you are happy. Now, those emotions are carried, you're happy. You're not getting worried unnecessarily about stuff. Okay, fine, my life is not under control. Okay, what should I do? Get frustrated, get depressed. Instead, you start feeling good when you meditate. And so then, first of all, that thing is not, they stop creating negative things for yourself. Thoughts create reality. Then the more we understand this knowledge, then we start making a change rather than be feeling helpless. In a situation of feeling helpless, we say, how can I change? How can I take it into my life? Control. My thoughts create reality. I mean, sit down and then visualize. Put a greater intention. Change my opinions about others, because a lot of times deep inside, that's because when we don't have a control, we put a blame on the environment, the system, or the people around, or our bosses, and say they're the ones who are causing us. Change all of that. We stop sending negative vibration, because every thought, feeling is sending. So many things that come together, dear friends. And then as a result, we overcome addictions, we overcome depressions, we overcome anxieties. mind starts becoming strong. So mental wellness is greatly restored. We are strong by ourselves, but we're greatly restored with meditation, regular practice of meditation. Many cases, many disorders, some potentially may not be, because if the persons do not know how to be taught to meditate and they do not have that attention to do, then a few things that we can do help, the parents and then people that really care for them, their families, their close friends, meditate with them. They meditate for them, they meditate with them, can help. Some of it is karmic that we just have to let go. We have to accept. So, dear friends, we've seen many, many people come in into the program with some kind of challenge. The stats are pretty staggering. Now, when we go into the medical system, they're all diagnosing and saying, you got this challenge, this challenge. I mean, they use the words, your depression is there. They use the word depression. That sort of kicks in a huge response into us. Oh, there is a depression. I'm going through a depression. And I use these words. I got this special disorder. The doctor told me, use these words, it sort of takes us down further into the rat hole. So it's important that we recognize that most of this wellness issues can be solved by regular practice with, by staying in touch with people who have been practicing meditation well. If you do that, staying in touch with them actively, and then practice meditation, and then understand some of this wisdom around that, a lot of it is what I now think and how do I manage my thought and emotion. And if these can be handled beautifully, then everything else comes through. Rather than worrying too much. Again, so of course, there are words, you got disorders, you got a depression. So these words are used, and then that puts pressure. So it's important that if you've got situations of people around, to not use those words, because the words have a strong negative meaning in the minds of us and then everybody around. Oh, you're suffering with depression? Oh my God. I have a mental disorder. Oh my God. A lot of them can be solved. We just have to support. The not using those words would make it further negative situation for people. So many who came in were able to heal of these challenges and then leading a great life now. In our programs, many come in. Let's go into meditation once again, dear friends. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. We are practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind with our eyes closed. Observe the breath and the mind becomes empty. Be here. So the posture is there, sitting comfortably in a chair on the floor, cross-legged, fingers into fingers, hands in our lap, comfortably rested, and then observing our in-breath and the out-breath. Then go into empty states, and then experience sensation, movement, observe it. In case you have thought, bring your attention back to the breath. Called breath mindfulness meditation. Then before we do that, we're doing a process called heart elevation. Just follow my guidance for that, dear friends. Relax yourself. Your eyes closed, relax your body. Dear friends, dear masters, keep your hands on your chest area with your eyes closed, specs removed. Rest your attention on your sacred heart. And can you feel your beautiful heart? Feel the seed of all emotions. Which is nurturing all life with its energies of love, gratitude, compassion. Can you recollect an experience from your past, from your present, where you felt enormous love, gratitude, compassion? Relive that moment and feel that energy. Relive that moment of love, of gratitude, and feel that emotion. And can you intend to direct that energy onto everything and everybody on this planet Earth to help them heal, to elevate? Where your attention goes, there the energy flows. Feel it. The more you experience love, gratitude, compassion, the more coherent we become with all things and everybody. We are all deeply interconnected. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. Become aware of the emptiness. Of the blackness. All emptiness is energy. Allow yourself to experience that emptiness, the field of infinite possibilities. the longer you stay aware of this emptiness, the more you tune in to these energies, the more experiences you draw into your life. Allow yourself to merge into the emptiness of yourself, the field of connectedness. Your greater mind. Friends, let's express gratitude to all things and everybody. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Your gratitude to your parents, teachers, mentors, family, friends, colleagues, to everything you use, the technology, the government, the company, the systems, to the nature, to the animal, the bird, the fish, to yourselves and to this intelligent universe. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Gratitude moves us into coherence, into acceptance. Gratitude paves the way for creation. recollect your experiences from the session. And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. Any announcements? And is Anusha Madam there?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Namaste. Dear friends and masters, good morning, great afternoon and wonderful evening. Thank you, Chanda sir, for wonderful meditation and soulful music. Friends, on behalf of Buddha Seva Panda Foundation, I take this opportunity to thank all the donors contributed between 1st October to 9th November. The gold sponsor is Mukul Chaganlal Joshia and Veena Joshia. Silver sponsors are Sulochana Ramachandra, Prem Singh Dingra, Shobana Gandhi, and bronze sponsors are Prema Shastri, Pranav Jalumane. And I am announcing the names of the donors contributed more than 5,000 and above. Anjana Ledwani, Sanjay Kumar Chauhan, Rajiv Agarwal, Kartika Ravindra Kumar, Lakshmi Madhavi, Vaishnavi, Tillu Jarika, Shanta Karupai, Senni Malai, Rita Guha, Ratanvel, Rajni Ashok Lalwani, Preeti Das, MTK Textiles Private Limited, Monica Bose, Madhuri Vivek Marathe, JS Sarvi Prasad, Dhulipala Nagapradeep. And there are few more anonymous donors. Thank you all. And I would like to thank Lalita Apana-Sati and Ratanvel for donating laptops to the organization. Also, our immense gratitude to all the other donors who have contributed other amounts. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anusha Madam. The foundation, my heartfelt thanks to everyone who is contributing and supporting this cause. We have completed 3 years earlier this year, and then we're shifting into doing a lot more work to like to reach out to as many people as much as possible, doing online and physical sessions and a lot into the graduating students as a way to help them, empower them significantly with these meditations, with this wisdom. So deeply thank everybody to everyone who have been part of it, and then invite everyone to be part of this mission. Dear friends, many ways one can contribute. Anusha Madam can help absolutely talk about this, so are the facilitators. Yes. So today, being a Friday, great opportunity once again to interact with the facilitators, and listen to others' experiences more closely, and then of course share your experience, friends. Always said that sharing experience is equal to increasing your third eye capability. Or listening to experience is increasing your third eye capability. So let's go into the breakout rooms and then spend some time interacting with facilitators there, other senior masters there. So you wait for a few seconds, you'll be moved into a smaller room. Facilitator will be there to greet you, and then I continue the conversation there. Thank you very much. Please go to initiated.